Okay, what we're going to talk about now are the title cards. This is one of the biggest things I was looking forward to with second edition because my group didn't really care for the title cards in first edition. Absolutely, we didn't even use them. We tried them a handful of times, found it to just be cumbersome, found it added nothing really to the game. Um, for us, we just thought it was an extra thing to do that we would rather do without. So we ended up just not breaking out the board ever and never used them. I think that'll change in second edition. The system that they've implemented here seems much better. So there seems to be 6 title cards, and they add a melee plot phase to there's jousting, which is 1-on-1, and then anything with 3 or more players is considered the melee format. And you add a melee plot phase to melee games where, or in the plot phase, you will add choose plot cards, reveal plot cards, and then there's step 3, select titles. When you select titles, you shuffle the titles face down and then randomly remove one of them uh, for this phase by placing it on the table face down near the territory. In a 3-player game, you'll remove 2 titles. In a 6-player game, you will remove none. So in most games, there's going to be one random title removed from it that is just not in play. And then in player order, each player secretly selects one title card from the pool and places the title face down near his or her faction card. Once each player has selected a title, all players simultaneously reveal their selections by turning the selected titles face up. Any title cards not selected are returned face down to the title pool. They won't be used this round. And then in the taxation phase, after you check your reserve, you return titles. Each player simultaneously returns his or her title face down to the title pool. So I like that a lot better than the earlier version. I know it's not much different, but I like the fact that it is secret, that it's hidden, that it's something you're doing that nobody else knows about till you all reveal it. I think that's going to add a sense of drama to the game. That'll be fun. So now we have the cards themselves, the titles. We have the Master of Whispers. It is supported by the Master of Ships. And supported means, let me get the book here so I can read it right from the book. If a player's title supports another title, that player cannot initiate challenges against the player holding the title that he or she supports. So the Master of Ships cannot initiate challenges against the Master of Whispers. I think it's weird that they put it on here instead of whatever. At least it lets you know. It lets you know that the Master of Ships will not be able to attack you this turn. In turn, this card supports the Hand of the King and rivals the Master of Laws and the Master of Coin. Now, what rivals means, if a player's title rivals another title, that player is rewarded for winning a challenge against the player holding the title that he or she rivals. A player gains 1 additional power for his or her faction after winning a challenge, as the attacking or defending player against an opponent holding a rival title. In each round, a player cannot gain more than 1 power per rival opponent in this manner by winning a challenge against that opponent. So you get an extra power if you win a challenge against your rivals. You may also resolve your intrigue claims against any number of opponents of your choice. You may resolve your intrigue claim against any number of opponents of your choice. Maybe I'm being dense, but I don't know what that means. Thankfully, they have something in the book here. Now, as you see on the bottom, this title contributes 1 strength to its bearer's total during any intrigue challenge in which its bearer controls at least 1 participating character. The bearer of this title may resolve his or her claim effect against any number of opponents each time he or she wins an intrigue challenge as the attacker. The full claim effect is resolved against each opponent chosen by the title's bearer. This ability only affects how claim is handled. The challenge is still considered won and lost by the defending player. Wow. I'm going to read that again, just to be sure. The bearer of this title may resolve his or her claim effect against any number of opponents each time he or she wins an intrigue challenge as the attacker. So you're in a 4-player game. You attack player B. You're player A. You attack player B in an intrigue challenge. Defeat them. You can make players B, C, and D all discard a card, if I'm reading that correctly. That is disgusting. Wow. Moving on to the Master of Ships. Supported by the Master of Coin, and supports the Master of Whispers. Rivals the Master of Laws and the Hand of the King. Raise the claim value on your revealed plot card by 1 during warfare challenges in which you are attacking a rival, and it gives you +1 strength in all warfare challenges that you participate in. That is brutal. These cards are nasty. Hand of the King, supported by the Master of Whispers, supports the Master of Laws, rivals the Master of Coin and the Master of Ships. You may initiate an additional power challenge during the challenges phase against a different opponent. And you get +1 in all power challenges that you participate in. That one's useful. I don't see it as being as brutal as the last two, though. The last two, I think, are really nasty. Master of Coin, supported by the Master of Laws, supports the Master of Ships, rivals Hand of the King and the Master of Whispers, gives you +2 gold per turn. I think that's nice and even-keeled. I don't really have a problem with this one. Master of Laws, supported by the Hand of the King, supports the Master of Coin, rivals the Master of Whispers and the Master of Ships, increase the number of cards you draw in the draw phase by 1, and gives you +1 reserve. Again, I think it's a nice, reasonable ability. Now we have Crown Regent. Supports none, rivals none. You may redirect 1 challenge this round. +2 strength for dominance. So that's pretty good. The ability to redirect a challenge, I think, can be incredibly useful. Let's see. Crown Regent, +2 strength during dominance. Used to redirect 1 challenge each round. After a player initiates a challenge and declares a target and attackers, the Crown Regent may use this title to force that player to choose a new target. So they can't choose who it goes against. They can just say, choose someone else. Note that the Crown Regent title has no supports or rivals relationships. So, not bad. Most of these I thought were fine. Very useful. Most of them, the Hand of the King lets you choose an additional challenge, make an additional power challenge. So you're potentially going to get an extra, take an extra power token from somebody, but you still have to have the characters to make that challenge. So not as overwhelming as I think this. I'm just thinking, you beat one person in an intrigue, and you get to knock 1 card out of everybody's hand. I just think that's really brutal. And this one, I think, is not quite as brutal, but it's still more brutal than the others. Raise the claim on your plot card by 1. So if you have a 2-claim plot card, you take this, you're going to kill 3 characters. So I don't know. I can see my group playing with these sometimes and not playing with them other times. Obviously, we won't know more until we actually play some games. But I don't want to win or lose every game based on titles. I want to play on the strength of a deck. What I like about title cards is if your deck has a particular weakness, you might be able to rely on title cards to help eliminate that weakness, to minimize it. Not eliminate entirely Whereas these tend to take your strength and then blow it up. Um, Maybe not necessarily a bad thing, but again, I'm just thinking I would hate to have a card knocked out of my hand for something that I just have no control over. Nothing I can do. Say I'm playing in a game, someone's playing the Lannisters, they go and do an intrigue challenge against the Starks who have no defense against intrigue. I just lose a card. Nothing I can do. Literally nothing I could have done to prevent that, aside from try to take Master of Whispers in the title phase. But again, I'm complaining without actually having used them, so maybe we'll find that they're not that bad. Like I said, most of them I actually really like. It's just this one I'm afraid be incredibly frustrating, and this one could be just brutal. I could see like maybe the Starks or even the Targaryens just taking this over and over and just slaughtering everybody. But again, haven't played it, so I don't know. Maybe I'm having faith in Fantasy Flight Games and their playtesting team. They've done a really good job with all the other cards so far. I don't really have any complaints about anything I've read up to this point. So we'll see how it plays. We'll play a couple games hopefully over the next couple weeks, and I'll do a review. I'll probably do a review soon with my initial impressions based on the few games that my wife and I will have played, and then I'll do a review in a few months once we have full decks. When the game's officially released and we have full decks and everything. But as of right now, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to try the game out. I'm not sure that we'll use the titles since we're using the broken starter decks where you're just literally throwing two houses together and peppering it with some neutral cards. But I am excited to try them. I think the way they're doing it this game is very interesting with the blind picks. I'm a little nervous about some of the abilities, but we'll see. I tend to be a worrywart with extreme knee-jerk reactions. So we'll see. And there we go. We've now looked at every card that comes in a Game of Thrones, the card game, 2nd edition. I hope you enjoyed them.